Welcome to miniatures.de, your military miniatures magazine. In this issue, we'll repair the 1:76 scale Airfix British Fusilier standard bearer. There's a lot to do, but the figure is really well worth the effort. We begin by removing this strangely shaped banner and the flagpole. British infantry flags of the period measured 195 centimeters at the fly and 180 centimeters at the hoist. They had completely different proportions than this medieval-looking banner. The banner is easy to remove with a cutter, and we will later be inserting a piano wire as a new flagpole, to which a paper flag will be attached. The base can be cut back so that the standard bearer will fit on a magnetic metal base later. Using a 0.5 millimeter micro drill, the hands are opened up to receive a new 0.6 millimeter piano wire flagpole. Now the piano wire is placed into the hole and pushed through both hands. The new flagpole is trimmed to 38 millimeters length, and any remaining piano wire is pushed into a cork for safe storage. Now it's time to carefully remove the crossbelt of the cartridge pouch worn across the left shoulder, because standard bearers didn't carry cartridge pouches. Early in the war, the officer's sword was worn on a waist belt, which was later worn across the right shoulder. With this standard bearer, we've opted for the waist belt. However, to save us the effort of removing the second crossbelt as well, we will be adding a haversack to it. The missing epaulettes will be sculpted in green stuff. Press a small amount of green stuff against the shoulder, and then using a modeling tool, shape it into an epaulette. The material can be made thinner by pressing against it repeatedly, because we want the epaulette to be sculpted to scale. Once the basic shape of the epaulette is complete, we place vertical cuts into the epaulette to create the fringe. Fusilier officers from ensign to colonel wore 2 epaulettes, so we have to add a second one to this figure. It's important to remember that the fringe on this epaulette is subject to gravity, and it doesn't follow the forward movement of the left arm in this case. So here too, it's important to place vertical lines on the epaulette to create the fringe. While the first standard bearer is put aside to allow the epaulettes to cure, we will now equip the second standard bearer with a sword. Press a small amount of green stuff against the left hip, push the green stuff together into a ball shape, and create the sword handle from that. It's sufficient if about 2/3 of the sword hilt protrude from the uniform. Now cover the waist belt with a small amount of green stuff and sculpt the officer's sash with it. The sash was worn under the coat, so make sure that it doesn't overlap the right turnback. The sash needs to be quite narrow and not too bulky. The sash is knotted to the right of the sword hilt, and there are 2 tassels which end about mid-thigh level. Press a small amount of green stuff against the thigh from which the tassels are made. First, separate the tassels from one another and then make fringes for each one of them. The sword scabbard is made from a section of staple, which is pushed underneath the left coat tail. Push the scabbard far enough in that it stays in place, but not so far that it penetrates the coat tail. Trim the scabbard with side cutters and finish it with a needle file. Right, and this is what the standard bearers look like now that we've given them epaulettes, a sash, sword, haversack, and a new flagpole. The only missing item is the gorget, which we will be adding before the painting starts. Thank you for watching. For more information, please visit our website at miniatures.de.